Hi, Homeworthy. My name's Violet Witchel, and I can't wait to show you around my San Francisco home.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, my name is Violet Witchel. I'm a food content creator and recipe developer, and welcome to my home in Cole Valley, San Francisco. I've lived in this home for 2 years. We were on the market for 6 months. We put offers in on 5 other houses, and this is actually the neighborhood where I'm originally from. My parents brought me home from the hospital to their apartment down on Alma Street, and this house was perfect. We put in an offer and it got accepted, and it's just such a dream. Hi, and welcome to my dining room. This is one of our favorite spaces in the house. We throw so many dinner parties. So I wanted to create a space that was as homey and cozy as possible. We'll have dinner parties that last 5-6 hours. It's funny, so the way the house was laid out when we first got it, our living room was actually set up as the dining room, and they used this as a living room. But it had so much gorgeous light, and we felt it was so much better set up to be a dining room. We actually flipped them. And it came with this beautiful, beautiful original fireplace. And if we wanted to set it up as a living room and have a TV there, it just wouldn't have made sense. And the thought of doing anything to this was just horrific to us. So we switched it up. And I actually love this fireplace. It's one of my favorite pieces in the whole house. Some people think it's really ugly, but I'm obsessed with it. This is the original tile. The house was built in the 1920s, and this has truly not been touched since. The wood is something called bird's eye maple, which is much harder to find these days. A lot of the time you'll see people using burl wood instead, but bird's eye maple is actually you just never see it for some reason. And so if something were to happen to this, it would be really hard to actually repair. So we love this. We're obsessed with it. We looked into getting the fireplace fixed or turned into a functioning fireplace, but you're not allowed to build new working fireplaces in San Francisco anymore. Fun fact. So for now, we could maybe put a fake gas insert in there, but for now she's non-functioning. When we came into the space, we redid all of the floors. That was the first thing. We had them all refinished because they were 40 years old. We added curtains, and then we installed completely new lighting. And when we were installing new lighting, they hammered a little bit and sawed. And then all of this was just floor to ceiling mold. So the majority of this room is actually brand new walls too, which was fun. But yeah, this art wall is one of my favorite pieces in the entire house. It's just such a collection of my husband and I's favorite places and people and things that we've kind of accumulated over the years. So I'll give you a little art tour. This piece, my sister is a really good artist, and she actually painted this. This is a watercolor piece she made. This one we found at a yard sale in the neighborhood for $10. One of my favorite art hacks, if you want really good art but you're on a budget, is go on college websites for good art schools and just DM the students and be like, hey, can I buy a piece from you? So this is Windromi. She's so talented, but it was $100 and we had it commissioned. It's a Balboa Cafe, which is a very famous cafe in San Francisco. And it's funny, it actually is dated, it's dated to the times because we had this painted right after COVID, and this was back when the parklets were still up because they let people put up parklets during COVID. And this parklet is gone now, which is really sad. And then my grandfather was an artist. He lived on a commune, which is fun. He started a commune in the 70s in Northern California and went to art school at Yale. So a lot of the art in the house is actually his paintings of Northern California. So all of the sculptural oil paintings, he painted and framed them all. So they're really special and meaningful, and I think they're gorgeous. And then I think this is actually a charcoal by him too. This we found at a yard sale This is a Anstis Lundy piece. This came from my great grandmother. She was really good friends with her. It's called chicken noodle soup, which is like a fun food piece, which I love. This we also found at a yard sale in the neighborhood. This is a very famous print. So we have a print of it, which I also stole from my parents. And this is, we went to Paris for the Paris Olympics. One of our friends was competing for USA Volleyball, which was so cool. And we were just walking around Paris, and we wanted to get something to commemorate the experience. And this is actually an American artist in Paris that painted this very famous hotel and pool. So we were like, it's a fun sports piece. It's a cool memento of the trip. So that's where that is from. And then this piece is probably like I get the most comments, and it's the thing people talk about most in our house. Her name is Amadi Williams. She is like ultra talented. I think she's going to be incredibly famous and successful. It's gouache on watercolor paper. So it looks like a print, but it's actually a painting, which I think is so cool. And we had it framed and matted. I DM'd her on Instagram and I was like, hey, can I buy this? Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. Too bad it's not the Giants, but you know, take what you can get. And then my husband played baseball in college. So we try and have like a lot of baseball art in the house just to kind of reflect both of our experiences and stuff. And so my sister did this in watercolor pastel. It's a Buster Posey pitching. So yeah, this is another good piece. And then these are my bookshelves. I have a million cookbooks because I cook for a living. I went to culinary school, and this is like my pride and joy. A lot of these are gifts. A fair amount of them are signed, which is really fun. Yeah, it's just like a huge collection. I cook out of these constantly. I love them. This is my culinary school graduation cookbook. So everyone in my class actually submitted a recipe, and we made a little cookbook out of all the recipes everyone submitted, which is really fun. These little bookends, my husband's family is Australian, and he has Australian citizenship. So for his birthday one year, I got these brass kangaroo bookends because kangaroos are like deer in Australia. They're just everywhere. And I thought these were really cute and special. And they patinaed really beautifully with age. So we keep these with all our books. And then, because my husband's family is Australian, when we got married last year, a really fun tradition they do is like, instead of gifts or in lieu of gifts, everyone brings a rock where they're from, and you put the rock in a bowl, and then you keep it in your house as like a special memento. So every rock in this bowl, we think a lot of our friends forgot and just like went hunting for rocks near our wedding venue day of. But theoretically, like a lot of these rocks are from places that are the homes of all our friends and family. And then we just keep it in this bowl, and it's really special to us. And it's a beautiful piece of art. And the rocks are all really cool and fun and unique. So this is one of my favorite things in the house. This is the other part of my cookbook collection. I have, again, a million cookbooks, and I go through them every single day for inspiration and recipe ideas and just to cook. This is one of my best friends' coffee card series, which is so funny. So I hired these photographers to shoot my Substack, and I was talking with them, and coincidentally, they shot this. And we'd both worked with this one photographer we love, but we didn't even know it, which I thought was really funny. I have cookbooks from when I was like a child to when I was, like at the bookstore last week. I think this is my first cookbook I ever got. It's the William Sonoma Children's Sweet Treats Cookbook. So it's very special to me. As you can see, it's just been, cooked through. I think I've cooked every single recipe in this book. There's very few cookbooks where I've cooked every single recipe, and this is one of them. The recipes are so good. It's so well written. My first cookbook ever. So I'm a fan, 10 out of 10 recommend. This guy has also, any Martha Stewart book is just so well written, so well tested. I mean, she's a legend for a reason, but this one is just like an iconic Martha's Cupcake book. Like, so much inspiration has come from this one. And then I have a ton of local books. Like every local business I go to, if they have a cookbook on the shelf, I'm getting it. Like it's happening. Oh my God. The homemade ice cream out of the Buy Right cookbook is Like, if you have the KitchenAid ice cream attachment, you got to get this cookbook because it's so good. Some really famous chefs will actually lie in their cookbooks and they'll say like, oh, this is the recipe to my whatever, what we have in the bakery, what we do. And they'll change things, so it's not actually the recipe. So, fun fact. And then we love games. We're big board game people, so we have board games and our friends will come over sometimes. We'll play board games with them. We had to do pretty extensive renovations to the space. It was in our budget and in a neighborhood that we loved, which was huge. And it had a backyard and parking, which were two things that were non-negotiables for us. We have a dog, so we really wanted him to have a little backyard to run around in. We redid the floors, the bathroom, the kitchen, a lot of electrical work to bring it up to code. We had to replace almost all the appliances. Yeah, we did a lot of work on the house. Welcome to my living room, and this is my Bernese Mountain Dog Wallace. Our house came with these original 1920s, 1940s pocket doors. I actually don't know where pocket doors came from in the sense of like separating a dining and living room, but it's pretty nice if you're like, some people are watching a sports game in here, the girls are drinking wine in the dining room, like you want to close the door because you don't want to hear. It's really nice. So, but it's definitely, you know, also a 100-year-old rolling track, so it doesn't close super easily. And it's solid redwood, which is really cool, so we can never get rid of it. And then in here, my friend Clara Pierce put me on to unlacquered brass light switches, which now I'm obsessed with. And I hardwired these myself, but yeah, I think they're so cool and fun, and they lacquer with time, and they look so beautiful. And then we're still figuring out the art in this room, but these are our wedding vows. And then these are the name cards for like our place settings at our wedding, which I thought was really cute. We have this little blanket ladder here just for when we need blankets when we're sitting on the couch, which we do a lot. One of our good family friends got us this blanket. It's really nice. I love it. Very cozy. I can't do harsh overhead lighting, like it just kills me. So we had these, or we installed these sconces. They just give like a nice soft lit glow. We love this console. Our house doesn't have a ton of storage, so this is a really functional, nice piece for us. And I love natural woods. Like I hate things that solid wood that has been painted white is like the bane of my existence. I think natural textures and fibers and colors are so stunningly beautiful when you slap like Benjamin Moore Snow White over it. It just breaks my heart. So I love this piece. I think it's so pretty. And then we love board games. Like my mom and I will play Scrabble almost every night when she's here. And so we have spinning board games, which are really nice because you don't have to flip the board back and forth, read it upside down, and then it has these little notches the letters go in. So when you spin it, it doesn't shift around. And then Samsung, this is a Samsung frame TV, and Samsung will sell the frames on Amazon for thousands of dollars. But if you go on Etsy, there are all these like woods craftsmen that are making these gorgeous frames for a fraction of the price. So we got this frame for our frame TV on Etsy for such a steal. And I love it. I think it just like transitions the TV nicely, because my husband was like his one design choice. My husband actually designed pretty much this entire room, but his like one thing that he really wanted for the house was an enormous TV. So he could have game nights and have his guys over and whatever. So this is fun because it'll do like a 4-way split screen thing, so they can have like golf, football, other sports, and watch them all at once, which is great. And then we got, my father-in-law is really big into like sound design and stuff, so he convinced us to get Sonos sound system installed, which, yeah, he was right. We love it. This couch we got off Facebook Marketplace. It's great, like the best couch. This is a map of Golden Gate Park, or a map of San Francisco and the Bay with fun, cute little landmarks. And then that is another watercolor or another pastel painting that my sister did of the Giants. And then my father-in-law gave us this one as a gift, I think for my husband's birthday. It's like a famous golf guy, I think. I like it. I think it's pretty. We installed this ceiling lighting too. I think it's just like a nice, soft, really beautiful light. We got this coffee table off Facebook Marketplace. This is just like a really good basic chess set. What I love chess, like I played chess club growing up. One of my pet peeves is when people get like decorative chess sets where it's impossible to tell what the pieces are, and they're like square glass pieces, and you're trying to figure out what a pawn is and a rook is, and you're just like, oh my god, this is unusable. So I love a traditional, well-made wooden chess set. And then this piece is, again, original 1920s and caused a lot of hardship for us. It had 5 coats of paint and lacquer that previous owners had put on over the years, and people were like, rip it out. And so we actually had the entire thing refinished by hand. So they sanded off all of the previous lacquer, all of the previous everything, and it took them 10 days, and it was so expensive. But I'm like, you have to preserve something like this. So this is actually redwood, and then we just had it put like a red stain and a protective gloss on it. But this is the original. I'm so glad we did it. We lived through sawdust for over a week to have this. But yeah, this is where we keep all of our glassware, all of our liquor, and it's a little delicate, but I think it's so beautiful. Like, it gives the house so much character. Yeah, I love glassware. These martini glasses are like the sexiest martini glasses you'll ever. The brand is LSA. Like the crispiest, thinnest stem. They're so good. Yeah. And then Glassy Baby makes some of my favorite cups for dinner parties. They're so fun. They add so much color. I love them. Yeah. And then I do like a lot of plating and shooting stuff. So we have a million plates and bowls and serviceware. And then we drink a lot of wine, and our friends come over and drink a lot of wine too. And a couple of our friends work in the wine industry, which is really nice. So we get a lot of free wine, because it's usually like I cook and people bring over wine, which no complaints. So we have like cabinets full of just bottles and bottles of wine. My husband has an architecture undergrad, and I just love interior design. So we've spent probably the past 2 years slowly accumulating pieces that we find at garage sales and when we're traveling, just things that are really reflective of our personalities. We love color, we love history, we love books, we love art, but we've tried to keep it very San Francisco based and very representative of our personalities. Our goal with our home was that if you were walking into our house as a stranger, you could get a picture of who we were based on the things in our house and our design. If we come through here, this is my kitchen, which I love, and I spend a lot of time in here because I cook every day for my work. This is the one room in the house where I make an exception for white and overhead lighting, because when you're filming something, a camera needs as much light as possible to shoot well, unfortunately, so I can't have dim, moody lighting. So we had probably the most abrasive, brightest lighting you've ever seen installed in this room. So it's very bright and it's very well lit, and you can pretty much shoot all hours of the day here and it looks like daylight, which is fantastic. The house came with these gorgeous windows where you can grow herbs and like, you know, keep stuff fresh in here, and they're really beautiful. Or you can like ferment your own vinegar because they stay nice and warm. Yeah, we redid most of the kitchen. Most of the appliances in this house were non-functional when we moved in, which was really strange. We don't really know why. And the real estate agent didn't really know why either. But so we replaced most of the appliances with this really cool brand that I'm obsessed with. It's called Big Chill. They make these like vintage appliances, but they're also really functional. Like this dishwasher is the Pro dishwasher, and it is the most powerful dishwasher. Like you could put the most caked on stainless steel pan and it comes out spotless. I love this thing. I run like 3 loads of dishes a day through it. This fridge, like we had to make the rest of the kitchen white. So I'm like, okay, I want to add color. I want to add texture. These cute little spice cans are from this fun brand. It's called Nice Spice, like Gneis Spice. And they're cute. You can do little designs. I love them. I got this somewhere. I can't remember where I got it, but we were on vacation somewhere and I saw this at like a tchotchke travel shop, and it's just like such a cute cooking timer. And then this, Muni is the San Francisco public transit. It's the San Francisco version of the subway, and the N is the line that runs through our neighborhood. So if you're a Cole Valley local or an SF local, you know the N Judah. I think it's the best Muni line. It just goes like straight across the city. Yeah, we redid all the cabinets. We refinished them. They were pretty old and beat up. The one thing that the house did come with that is fantastic is this Viking stove. 2 of the burners don't work, but the burners that do work are just killer. Love them. We had to redo the hood because the hood was defunct and broken. And then the floors. The floors are very special to me. So we ripped up the floors that were here, which were this like yellow tile, and then we had to completely re-level the subfloors because San Francisco, there are like micro earthquakes all the time, and so houses shift over 100 years. So we had to re-level underneath. But at some point there was this beautiful original penny tile that someone had covered up, which I can't even talk about or think about because it's just like, ugh. So we wanted to replace the floors with something that was like historic and honored the history of the neighborhood and retained architectural integrity. So there's another fun local business called Cole Valley, or called Ice Cream Bar. And if you go to Ice Cream Bar, they have the exact same floors as this. And we used a historic California tile brand, Bedrosian's Tile. They've been around for, I think they're one of the oldest tile brands in California. So we're like, okay, whoever built the house in the early 20th century probably used them for this brand, or them for their floor. So we felt like it was the best replacement, and they came out so beautiful. We love them. And then the wallpaper is quite controversial. A lot of people think this wallpaper is hideous. The design is Romanian, and I love it. I think it matches the red fridge. I think like a fun, funky wallpaper adds so much character and color. And the guy, I forget what the name is, but it's like Wallpaper Pro is the company or something like that. The guy who installed it was also Romanian, so he was so excited and thought it was so beautiful, which makes me so happy. And then when we redid a lot of the kitchen, we had them keep the wainscoting in the original trim and refinish all of the original trim and put it back, which is a pain, but I think it's super worth it because just like can't rip out old historical things. Yeah. And then new ceilings because we ripped out something to put a light in, and then everything was disgusting and moldy, and $8,000 later we have new ceilings, which is fun. And then this coffee maker, my husband got this coffee maker because he just loves like a traditional pot of drip coffee, and it's a Mocha Master, and it makes the best pot of like cozy warm drip coffee in the morning. And then I love finding like cool mugs at the farmer's market, like this one. This is a local SF girl that makes these. And yeah, it's the best if you're looking for a good coffee maker. Mocha Master is bomb. This is my deli container storage. Pretty much every chef in the country uses deli containers, and in culinary school, they were like obsessed with deli containers. So this is not the cleanest way, but this is like where I shove all my deli containers. My career has been kind of a funny journey. So I've always had a passion for food growing up, but going to college, I didn't get into the food science program I wanted to. So I ended up getting an economics degree because I got recruited to swim at Vassar. And I was like, okay, I may as well get like a really practical degree. And I thought I was gonna go into finance and investment banking. And then I had been a line cook previously, so I knew how to cook probably more than most college students would. And I was off the meal plan. And then my junior year of college, it was COVID, we were quarantined. I just started posting TikToks and they blew up randomly. And by the time I graduated college, I had over 2 million followers, and I was making more money on TikTok than I would have in traditional banking. And so I was like, this is way more fun. I'm gonna do this instead. And then I just ran with it. And I went on MasterChef. And then after I didn't win MasterChef, I was like, okay, I really want to go back to culinary school. So this past year, I went back to culinary school at CIA. And now I'm writing a cookbook. I'm running my Substack, running all my social media, and here we are. Next, I would love to show you my bathroom. This bathroom, when we got it, it was a lot of people didn't want to buy the house because of the bathroom situation. The ceilings were rotted. It was very old, and at some point previous owners had done a DIY home reno and had ripped out a lot of the beautiful original character. It had the same tile as the kitchen. It was just like they had literally duct taped a mirror to the wall. Like the original bathroom was it was in rough state. We love color, we love texture. We wanted to do something that was historic San Francisco vibes and was something you could look on in 40 years and think it's beautiful, and you could put it in 50 years back and still think it's beautiful. Something timeless. So yeah, the bathroom is like my pride and joy. Showering in here is just like the coziest, nicest experience. So I saw this green tile on Paragold for just like a crazy price, and I was so obsessed with it. And then I was just like, oh, let me just like look up the SKU number to see if this tile is sold anywhere else. And I found it on Home Depot for literally half the price. So I was like, I need it. So yeah, and we were originally gonna do halfway up, we were gonna just do a wainscot and then do a wallpaper, and then we did halfway up, and we're like, it's so gorgeous. I want like floor to ceiling. So I love the color wash. Yeah, I'm so obsessed with it. This is the original tub. It's like a 600-pound bathtub. It's solid cast iron. We had it refinished. It caused a fight with our contractor. It took a week. It's so heavy and big, they couldn't move it out of the house to refinish it. So we actually had to bring someone in and refinish it in our kitchen. And there's not that many people that do it in San Francisco. They kept trying to convince us. They're like, please, like, what if we just threw it out and you could buy an acrylic tub for cheap? And we were like, no, we're gonna refinish it. Want to keep it. And then we added this nook because I have a million bathroom products, so I wanted to have room for all my stuff. The contractor was like, oh my God, one shelf for your husband and one shelf for you. I'm like, no, 2 shelves for me and a corner for my husband. And so, yeah. And then we tried to find like cool old brands that had been around for a while so that it kind of had that timeless feel. So we got a gooseneck faucet from this beautiful brand. We matched that faucet type. We found the exact same brand for what was originally there with the tub, which we were so pumped about that we found that. And my husband and I designed the entire bathroom myself. We didn't work with a designer or an architect or anything. It was just us and the contractor. And then we found this like beautiful handmade border tile that we wanted to put everywhere because it's just so stunning and added such a gorgeous detail. So we have that going all the way up on all the corners. And then there's no closet, there's no storage space, so we wanted to add something. Built-in cabinets. If you have owned a home or ever like thought about owning a home, built-in cabinets will give you shell shock with price. Like you'll be like, I should have been a cabinet maker, enough with whatever I'm doing. So we bought a pre-made unit. I got this from Anthropologie. The green matched the green of the tile, and I thought it was so gorgeous. So I was like, oh, I need it. And then we found this cool towel hook that kind of matched the brassy gold textures we had going on, which I love. I had alerts on for every like CB2, West Elm, so the minute they announced their end of year sale, I was like scouring the site, trying to get everything at a discounted price. We got this huge mirrored cabinet for like $200 on clearance from CB2. And then we wanted to maintain the, kind of natural historic details of the space. So this is all original trim that we had refinished and sanded down by hand and kept the original. And then when we couldn't keep the original, we found a place that matched the wood and matched the style of trim, which is actually really hard to find. So anything that was unsalvageable we tried to match it as exactly as possible. And then we added pocket doors, are like a beautiful San Francisco staple. And so we matched the style of pocket door that was in the living room to the style of pocket door we did on our bathroom. So it has the exact same trim and like door paneling, and I love it. It makes it, this one has a little bit better of a track, so it's much easier to roll. But yeah, I love it. And then we also did Calcutta marble floors, because it's just timeless and beautiful, and you know, white marble, it never goes out of style. And the one thing we did with the floors that I do recommend to anyone renovating, it was a little bit of a splurge, but heated floors for your bathroom is life-changing. Like when you step your foot out of the shower and it's just like warm, you're like, oh my gosh, you can't go back once you have it. We're so spoiled. Or like when you're going to the bathroom at 2 a.m. and it's not cold, you're just like, oh, this is really nice and wonderful. It just makes it so much cozier and you don't even realize it. And then this, I think I got on like mega discount from CB2. Nothing special, but it matched the floor, same kind of style. I did have abrasive overhead lighting installed in here so that if I'm filming makeup tutorials or brand videos, I can have better lighting. But then for the most part, we just keep it this really soft, beautiful light. And then if you light a candle in here, showering in here is just like the coziest, most wonderful experience. We love entertaining, so we tried to design our house as best as possible to have guests over. Our dining room is one of my favorite spaces in the house because we'll have 4, 5, 6 hour dinner parties. So we wanted to make it just a cozy, homey atmosphere where people could feel comfortable staying. Overhead lighting was a hard no for us. It's so abrasive, it's not sexy. So we have like very soft, intimate lighting throughout the house. So whenever people come over, it feels like cozy, it feels warm, it feels like you're at home. So we definitely, like, entertaining was top of mind for us. We throw dinner parties all the time. I feel like not being scared to have your home not be trendy or not have other people necessarily think your home is super cute really gives it character and soul. And my favorite kind of houses are when I go to my friend's house and I'm like, this is not my taste, but like I love that it's your taste, and I think it's really a reflection of you. So like our house is covered in our favorite books, our favorite art, like mementos from places we've traveled, our favorite colors, functionality that suits our life. And people that come over, they might be like, oh, this isn't my cup of tea, but they can tell that it's very us, which I think gives it a lot of character. That was my bathroom. Now let me show you the bedroom. This is the bedroom. Pretty simple, cozy. We don't have a ton of storage space, so we got this storage bed, which we actually really love. So it's a great way to maximize my closet space because I have way too many clothes. This is an original light fixture that came with it, which is really fun and gorgeous. We got this dresser off Facebook Marketplace. It was such a steal. It's beautiful. We don't know where it's from, but I think it pulls the space together really beautifully. And then we have these little Serena lily sconces. Again, no overhead light. Before you go to bed, looking at blue light is really bad for your sleep hygiene and it'll keep you awake. So for bedtime reading or whatever, bedtime scrolling on our phone, we have red lights that we turn on, and it's a nice transition that helps you fall asleep, and a red light bulb is $5. It's the easiest switch, and it's really helped us. Once we get in bed, it's like, okay, it's time to go to sleep. Let me show you my office. This is where I work and take a lot of calls, and then I have this little chair here, which is where I'll sit and I'll do my voiceovers. We added a rug so that there's less like echo and reverb when I'm recording my voice for my videos. And then on this wall, I have my like aspirational content planning. I put this up in the hopes that I would like cleanly lay out all of my content for the month and like have a schedule that I follow. It has yet to happen, but it is here for the day that I do that. Over here, we installed more non-overhead lighting because it's just like something about like soft, moody lighting. Like it doesn't give me a headache. It makes it so enjoyable to be in the space. Like I love it. When I work, my dog loves to come and like hang out on this rug. and just chill in the office with me. This is our second art wall. This is what's in the background of all my Zoom calls, and when my husband is working on weekends, in the background of all his Zoom calls. So I eventually want to add all of our college diplomas and get them framed because I think that would be really cute. But these are just more special art pieces. My sister painted this one. This was one of the first pieces she ever painted for me. It's a watercolor of an olive oil bottle. And then I got my husband master's tickets for his birthday this year, and this is from the most recent master's, which he said was a historic master's. I don't know why, but we made like this little pin board of everything. So we have the spectator guide, the tea times, and then the teas from when he was there. My friends got this for me for my birthday. It's all of us at our wedding, and it was just the most fun event. It's so special. We loved it. This is another piece from my grandfather. Gorgeous, just seaside. And then I went to Vassar, so this is a very fun photograph of Vassar campus. It used to be an all-women's college, and my family's gone there forever. So this is from the 1800s, I think. It was one of the first women's colleges in the US, and yeah, this is from back in the day, which is really cool. And then this is a watercolor photo. So it's a photo, and then they enhanced the colors with a watercolor topper, which I thought was really pretty. But this is of Stanford, which is where my husband went. And then this is, my uncle painted this. I'm obsessed with it. It's crabs because, you know, local California crabs, but he did it and then did like gold film on the crabs. And I've never seen anything like it. And he's just like the most talented artist ever. So I'm obsessed with it. And then this is my desk. It's kind of a cute little desky area. This is my monitor. So I'll sit in this corner. I love a corner desk. Like I'll sit and I'll do Zoom calls, and it looks nice. My husband picked out this lamp. It's kind of a good desk lamp, and I love the sound it makes when so satisfying. I love it. I have a little desk pad for my mice. He has his special Excel mouse, and then I have my normal Mac mouse that I use because we'll share this space. Yeah, this is where we put all of our parking tickets that we get because we live in San Francisco, and parking legally and getting parking tickets is just part of the budget, unfortunately. And then this chair was one of the first nice pieces of furniture that we bought for ourselves. I got this cute little pillow for him from this golf course. Let me just keep it here because it's cute. But yeah, this is where I sit. If I have long calls, I'll sit here and I'll take the call, and you can look out the window, and it's really beautiful. You can like sit and record voiceovers, sit and read a book. It's just like a really nice, beautiful space to chill. But it's different than my office chill chair because I'm like having a mental block where you're like, okay, when I'm in this chair, I'm working. When I'm in that chair, I'm relaxing. I've found has been helpful for productivity. And then this we got off Facebook Marketplace for like $30. It's a storage ottoman, which is nice. So you can put blankets in here or extra camera equipment or whatever. And then this I think is so cute. Sea lion. Okay, fun fact. I thought the sea lions at Pier 39 have always been there. Apparently, after the 1989 Point Loma earthquake, they just like randomly showed up and started hauling out. So I thought they were longtime residents, but I guess they're recent. But sea lions are a big part of San Francisco culture, and every tourist will come see them. So our friends got us this sea lion door stopper, which is really cute because this door struggles to stay open and closed. So we keep it here to keep it open. This dresser is actually funny because my friends got a new credit card and they needed to spend a certain amount within a couple of months to get like additional points if you hit a certain spend. And I was furniture shopping, so I was like, oh, I got you. So I put this on my friend's credit card and they Venmo'd me so they could get the credit card points for it. But yeah, it's just like a nice office storage console. We have this plant who's kind of struggling. And then I throw a ton of dinner parties and I take 1 million food photos a month. So this is some of my favorite plateware. Heath Ceramics is a local ceramics brand, and they make the most beautiful plateware. I get them at the Embarcadero Farmers Market. It's dangerous. Like every time I go, I'm like, oh, I can't buy more plates. And then we were required to print all of our recipes in culinary school. You have to bring in a paper recipe. You're not allowed to use your phone. So I had to get a printer, which I haven't really used since college. But yeah, that's where I would print all my recipes at 5 a.m. every morning before I went to class. And then this rug is just very cozy and nice, and I love it. And then this light, it was a crime, there was no ceiling rose, so we added the ceiling rose. And then this is a Herman Miller light, which a couple other people in the neighborhood have this exact light. So I love that our neighborhood has similar stylistic elements throughout the house. So I feel like it creates like culture and, you know, dates things and makes a sense of community and a sense of architectural style in the area. So yeah, I love this. I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful light. And I love the ceiling rose. Ceiling roses are only like $50. Like, you would think they're so expensive, and you literally just glue it to your ceiling, and it just makes your house like look more expensive. It's more architecturally significant. I think they're beautiful. They cover any mistakes or smudges that your electrician made installing lights. Like 10 out of 10 recommend architectural roses. Welcome to the entryway of my home. I really wanted this space to be a showstopper because it's everyone's first peek into my home. So I wanted to showcase all the beautiful architectural details. We installed this wallpaper ourselves. Don't recommend. Definitely hire someone. It's a little misaligned. And then I got this mirror from the Restoration Hardware outlet. They have the best pieces. It's the best outfit selfie mirror before you leave the house. And then these door handles, I love. NOLA in Louisiana has just the most beautiful homes you've ever seen, and they get renovated periodically. So if you go to thrift stores and salvage yards, they'll have the most gorgeous historical things. So we got these door handles, which are unlacquered brass and I think solid cherry wood for $25 each. And I need to fix these, but I think they look stunning and they add so much character with the little fleur-de-lis. Love them. And then yeah, this is all original woodwork that has been painted over, and I'm trying to convince my husband to let me refinish another thing, but refinishing and sanding off wood takes like weeks and covers your house in sawdust. So gotta convince him. But yeah, love these. I feel like a home to me is where you go and you feel like your people and your community and your life are reflected in your space, you know? I think it's what you bring to a space that makes it home. It's not a place, it's not a house, it's your collection of things and the love and light and parties you bring to a space that make it home. Thank you, Homeworthy, for coming to tour my home. I've got to get back to the kitchen to finish cooking, so bye for now.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.